do that yell a little more?
Yes.
It's like music to my ears.
I'm here to burst all of your fucking bubbles.
Yes.
Mr. Midnight Movie. You're no good, man. You're no good.
I'm here to burst all of your fucking bubbles.
Are you trained in the nut gargling?
Yes.
You put
Yes.
them in and go. Ro, 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 ro.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna cut that a little bit short. Sorry, guys. But I want to talk today about Behind the Podcast Darkly. It's going to be a serious podcast. And I don't know if you've heard, but, you know, I have all this time on Blog Talk Radio, and honestly, I cannot speak for long lengths of time, and it's harder to take a break. Like, I can play quite a bit of audio on Spreaker, but not so on Blog Talk Radio. And ironically, you know, it's a small world. The call-in number that I have on Blog Talk Radio, which if you want to program into your phone, when you call it, if I'm not live or they're not live, then it'll tell you how many hours or days to the next podcast. And that number is area code 646-716-7259. I think that was just a sign from the big guy upstairs or the big molecule upstairs, whatever it is up there, that this was meant to be. Now, some people realize that I'm not well. I have cancer, and don't want to go into that or make it about me. What I do want to make it about is Behind the Podcast Darkly, what's really true. And this is no vendetta to get back at anybody. I just thought it was a shame to let all that time go to waste. It's 3 hours for a live show with an hour overtime. Now, this used to be the home of Mr. Midnight Movie and Jewish Producer. And I'd like to let them come back into their home, complete with the original phone number. So I'm trying to figure out how do I convert the whole account over to them. So, I mean, it's paid for, so. But anyway, if you want to be able to call into their show, which is on later tonight, let me put the link in the chat. Let's see here. And paste. There we go. There is the link. That's what it is. And I just want to make it clear, this is no vendetta. This is just meant to be. This is a kindness thing to do. And you know, they talk about a variety of projects and a variety of topics, like their No White Guilt film project that they're doing. And then they've done movie synopsis before. Mr. Midnight Movie, of course, is very knowledgeable in the history of movie production and movies and the actors and actresses and trivia even, dare I say. Jewish Producer is a writer. If you go to that link that I put in the chat room, you'll find a blog spot, Mr. Midnight Movie, blogspot.com. You know, if you want to read some of Jewish Producer's writings and see what they're more about. I'm just going to host them, and I enjoy listening to their show, even if I don't agree with everything they say, which is probably 60% of the time. I enjoy listening to them. I find them entertaining, enlightening, and I hope you get to know them and enjoy them as I have. This is a clip that they done on atheism, Mr. Midnight Movie. This is going back a year or two, but I just want you to hear a little bit about who they are. They're also on Spreaker. Just look up Mr. Midnight Movie or Jewish Producer. Forget the name of their movie or their show, but it's funny. Let's take a listen to this clip.
Hello everyone, I am Mr. Midnight Movie, and I plan to have my atheist temple here, a temple of objective thought. Probably only 1% or even less of the population will understand what I'm talking about. Religion is delusion. Belief in a higher power is delusional. believing in nature, believing in evolution. Money and power are things that all human beings should strive for. Never need anybody's love. I'm Mr. Midnight Movie, and I plan to build a large and powerful temple where the smartest control the weakest. If you are narrow-minded or sensitive, this temple will not be a place for you. I'm trying to build my experience, my multimedia experience.
Dirt, Tommy.
I adore Mr. Midnight Movie and Jewish producer. I do. I was their first female caller, may I add. Why don't we see if we can call Mr. Midnight Movie? Got to fire up my old Skype. So they've been kind of busy tonight. And hoping that they'll still be able to do the show. I have not yet confirmed the time. So, waiting to hear back. Waiting for Skype to load up so we can call them live on air. If not, I'll just do a piece that I wrote a few days ago. Okay, let's see here. Let's see, Mr. Midnight Movie. Or should we call JP? We could call JP. Or Jewish producer. Let's see here. Why don't we give him a call? I don't know, my Skype's going kind of slow tonight. Don't know why. Alrighty. Whoops, I think I hit the wrong button. We'll see if he answers. We're looking for a Jewish producer. Is it working? Or did my Skype end? I don't think my Skype worked. Hey. Hold on, just got to finish typing this to them. Need to confirm time. Okay. Doing an introductory show on Spreaker. To let people know. No, it's about your show, not me. Alright. Well, obviously he's busy right now. Who else could we call? Who should we call right now? Should we call Apocalypse? Let's see if he'll answer. Let's see what his thoughts are. To remember to tell him we're live. Hey, Apocalypse. You're live on Spreaker, just to let you know.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for giving me a heads up there, jerk.
Well, I'm being nice. I just wanted to ask you one or two questions if you have time.
Sure, I have plenty of time.
All right. Well, I know you listened to the show last night with Mr. Midnight Movie and Mr. Solution, who came on there and kind of gave Midnight a hard time. What did you think of Mr. Midnight Movie being back on Blog Talk Radio?
To me, it doesn't matter where he's at. I mean, whether it's Spreaker
Uh-huh.
or I think it's... As long as it's just kind of like he's doing his own thing and, you know, not afraid and not being held back, I think it's good.
Yeah, I do too. And it's not about me. I just happened to have some time there. I just happened to have their old call-in number, which I think is really bizarre. I mean, of all the numbers to get, they gave me their old call-in number. Isn't that bizarre?
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah, it is weird. I think it's meant to be. And I just want to make it clear that it's not about me when I'm hosting their show. Just JP didn't make it on last night because he was out and didn't get back in till later. But I'm looking forward to the both of them being on there, and then they could do their own thing, and I could just break in with technical news, and like there was technical problems last night. A lot of technical problems. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on the matter. And did you have any other comments on it?
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question. How much are you paying there at BTR a month?
Well, because they messed up on my account, I got a couple months free. I paid 1 month for $99, and I got a couple months free.
Is that normally like $40 a month then or something?
Their normal account, most popular account, is $39.99 a month. But if you upgrade to the $99, you can have up to 99 people in the queue just listening to your show. And you have the ability to call out to other people with that show. And there's a lot of bonuses if you go with the $99 package. Like there's not any ads that are played that I find beneficial. Because who wants to listen to a podcast with ads interrupting, every 20 minutes?
So even the $40 ones, they interrupt you with ads?
That's right. Not as much as the free account, of course, but like on the sides of the chat room, there's always ads. And on my $99 program, I do not have that. Plus, I have 3 hours live with an hour overtime if I choose. So it's nice, The board's different, though. I like Spreaker's a lot better. And of course, the audio is better on Spreaker. The only thing that I really like about Blog Talk Radio is that call-in number, which I could probably get for Spreaker, but they're giving me a couple months for free. So, and to talk that long at a time, 3 hours at a time, it makes me sick to my stomach. So I can't really use it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you like better overall, Spreaker or BTR?
I think I really like Spreaker, other than I don't have a call-in number. That's the only downfall of it. But a lot of times when I'm on Spreaker, I'm playing clips and explaining about vaccines, and it's a different audience that I appeal to on Spreaker.
Yeah, and then I know a lot of people, they do the certain tricks to where they can have their own call-in number through Skype and stuff like that. I know people do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could get a Skype number. That's not a problem. I think to get Skype credits like $4 a month. That's not much at all. And that may be what I do, but I'm just not very well. And it's cheaper on Spreaker. I mean, there's a coupon code where it gets it down to $17.99 a month for a normal pro account. So I kind of like that. I like that a lot, actually. So
now, are you going to try to go back to iHeart by chance?
Well, because of the consistency problem, like on Spreaker, I think my last gap in shows were 8 days. And you have to do at least 1 to 2 shows a week for iHeart. But yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I just have not done it because I have been ill, and then I had to enroll my daughter into public high school because I'm not able to teach as much as I used to.
I wonder about that because I know Kevin Kierstead, he's still a part of iHeart, and he didn't do a show for like 20 days.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm wondering maybe they don't check very well or something.
Maybe that's the case. And I think Comcast has bought iHeart, and they'll probably buy Spreaker next. So I don't know where we're going to go to next, but yeah, it's all a process. But I think it's disheartening to learn that. Is it Comcast or Clear Channel that bought iHeart?
It's Clear Channel.
Clear Channel.
Yeah.
And that I find disheartening because of how they do business, Clear Channel. They own a lot of the terrestrial radio stations. A lot of people do not know that. It's all Clear Channel, except for a few independent affiliates. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's funny how it works is like they'll have like one big broadcaster like out of one of those stations, and they'll broadcast to all of them, so they only have to pay that one DJ.
That's right. That's right. They are, and it's hard to find an independent station. And if you do, they're really fighting to stay relevant and just to keep their head above water. They're just treading. I used to do terrestrial radio, not like some of the other people did, but I was on one of the top 10 radio stations in the nation, but that was back in the 90s. So
now, do you know those TFOK people out in Oklahoma?
I want to get to know them. My illness has kept me from doing things, but it's on my list in April, especially for, Autism Awareness Month in April. So.
Yeah, because I sometimes hang out in their chat room. They're all basically from a place called Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half away. It's not that far, so.
Yeah, it seems like they're pretty cool people.
Yeah, and I think some of them might come out here to me. Because, things are getting to the point where it's hard to travel. And so, but I have wanted to meet up with them. I think they're wonderful.
Yeah, they're pretty cool people.
Yeah, they are. But we should have a show tonight, about 40 minutes. And I haven't confirmed the time because they do a lot of different things on Sundays. So to find out if they're really going to show up or not. If not, I'll just do a show and I'll see if they want to put one of their old shows. Because I can replace the audio with one of their shows if they want to. So they can get more buzz, more people listening. So.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I had to see about changing the whole name of the channel and seeing if I can give it over to them, possibly. I'm not for certain if they'll let me do that, but I'm going to give it a try, and so they can have control of it. So I have to run the board as it is. So, which is good for me because I don't really want to talk a lot on their show because it's their thing. It's not my thing.
Now, is it kind of like Spreaker where you can have your own like side shows?
No. No, it's just a one show thing. If you want another show, you have to get another account.
Oh, okay.
So that's where Spreaker excels. Plus, it doesn't automatically upload to YouTube. So, any show that we do on there, I'm going to have to upload it, or they're going to have to upload it to their account, but they don't have a pro account on Spreaker. And then maybe I could just link up to their Mr. Midnight Movie and it can just go over to... Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They should be able to pay for an account on Spreaker. I don't understand why they don't.
I think before, because they didn't do enough shows, so they didn't think it was justified. But now it's getting to the point where they should really reconsider that.
I think so as well, and they do fine on their own. I think they found their feet and their balls again, and they had such a fantastic show. I wish you could have heard it when it was live, when it was on BTR. It was so good. They had all different types of people calling in from different aspects of society, and it was a good show. It was eclectic. It wasn't narrow, or how mine just focuses on vaccines. Theirs was not that type of show. And it was inflammatory. It was edgy. And they were original.
They kind of chased a few people away of being too edgy too, but...
Well, that's the beauty of them, and I really appreciate that. I don't always agree with what they say, but I'm okay with that. I don't have to agree with everything they say. And, I'm not telling them who they can talk to or who they can't or what show they can be on. I'm not that type of person. I never was. That they were led to believe some things that were not true. All that's hashed out now. And, it's like the good old days. Stabby was the first chatter in their chat room. I was the first female caller.
That's funny.
Yeah, and now I have their old call-in number. I really think it's meant to be. The person, whoever it was that got them canceled. I have my thoughts on that, because somebody needed someone to be on their show because they were not original. And they had canceled other shows or had shows canceled. So, for a forward, 404 is a verb, it's a noun, it's many different things.
I'm glad we don't see that here. I don't think I've seen one show 404 on Spreaker.
I'm glad.
But, it's never happened that I've seen.
Well, I don't think they want to start doing that because then they have to do it for everybody. I think some shows, if there's true, valid complaints, should be removed, as far as episodes, rather, not shows. Episodes. So, because it just does nothing but cause a bad atmosphere. Like, one host is known to slam people and to play audio files that are not hers, that are hurtful and painful, and it's a pattern of abuse. You know, every now and then where someone gets upset and they do a slam show, maybe that's okay, but when it's a nightly occurrence, you know, or 4 times out of the week that they're doing this, I think that's an issue that should be dealt with because it's personal. It's not inflammatory like they're slamming on Kim Kardashian, you know, someone that's known in the public. To slam on people that have passed away, that were not in the limelight, not a part of terrestrial or internet radio, I don't think it's right to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, even then you can always retaliate too, so I think that's kind of what they'd rather you do than report stuff here, it seems.
Mm-hmm. They want you to be able to defend yourself, but at that incident, how do you defend? I mean, I just think a person is stooping down to, a dumpster's level. You know, dumpster juice and all. It's nasty. Who wants to put their feet in that? It's just gross. You know, original content, original jokes, talking about white guilt or, the civil rights movement has been, whatever they say it's been, disenfranchised, perverted. I think that's what he says. I like to listen to those things. Not because when you're slamming someone else on that type of level, a dead husband or what have you, then it's too personal and it's too narrow for a big audience to relate to it. I don't know a lot of people that relate to being mean and sadistic. I mean, to me, that's what that was. It was sadistic. It was cruel. I don't know a lot of people that identify with those things. Do you?
No, none at all, really.
Mm-hmm. And on BTR, those were the good old days where we supported each other. And I think you've heard other hosts talk about that time where we would travel to each other's shows and support each other. I was not there in the beginning like Desert Rose and Goofy was. They were the originals, not some of the other people that claimed to be. But I came along and I really did enjoy their shows, and we would go from show to show and support each other.
Yeah, I remember going before everything really happened. I was a very casual observer of BTR.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were there before they started charging.
Yeah. So I did go, but I didn't really understand a lot of these shows. But I remember going to a Goofy Bone show, and he had a lot of people in there.
Yeah, he did. And Ghost and Bill Wagner even had a show, and those were the good days.
Yeah.
But I think just stonewalling people that are cruel and sadistic like that, because if they don't have an audience, whatever they say is not going to be relevant. And just focus on the positive, and if certain people agree to slam on each other, like certain radio hosts used to do on terrestrial radio, then that's okay,
Yeah, I think what's big is original content.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing that you don't really see a whole lot of anymore. So.
Yeah, and I am honored that they'll come on my platform, and they can make it their platform. It's not really my platform, but it's their old call-in number, and I'm sick, and I'm not going to get much better. So this is something I can do before I pass.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I just want people to know this is not, that what I'm doing is not meant to be mean to a certain host. It's an opportunity that I can pass on, and I'm happy to do so.
Yeah, it's a nice parting gift.
Yeah, and I think they would do the same. I would like to think they would do the same. Like, if I had been 404 and they got my old call-in number and they weren't able to use their time daily, that they would pass it on to whoever it belonged to, that number. I just think it's kind of cool. That's what I like about it. And I do adore them, so.
So your show here is going to be what? Let me look at BTR. I have it.
Well, it says Vaccine Truth News Radio, but I need to find out how to change the name and, Now we got the whistleblower status through the Department of Justice. It's just a matter of time before they do the congressional hearings. My work's done. So.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me on your phone.
Okay, well, thanks. I appreciate it. We're on Spreaker, so.
Yes, sorry.
I'm just going to do my piece on narcissism, and then it'll be almost time for my other show to start. So I'm going to do that quickly within 7 minutes, and hopefully they'll show up on time. We'll see. But thanks for being on. Just go ahead and hang up, and I'll start this.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Apocalypse. Have a wonderful night. Alrighty then. I hope you could hear them. I'm going to play a piece, or I'm going to recite a piece that I've done. Let me see if I can extend this. I have it written out. It's on narcissism, and I really want people to understand why I'm talking about this. Why that's important to me. Oh, let me see if I can do it this way. Okay. All right. We'll start out with some background music. Let me turn it down some. I like this background music. Now this is on narcissism. The narcissist has no use for the ones she cannot control. The narcissist hates free spirits. The individual, a man or woman that is able to think critically. A man or woman who's in touch with their creative side. Basically, anyone who is halfway capable of thinking and dreaming for themselves will be despised by the narcissist. Why? It is because of the free-spirited person presents an obstacle to the narcissist. Her insatiable desire to control all people in her circle, in her relationships. The free spirit presents an obstacle, again, to the narcissist's insatiable desire to control anybody and everybody in his or her circle of, quote, relationships. Friends of the person. A so-called relationship is no relationship at all within this circle. There is nothing mutual about it. It is a form of slavery. It is master to servant. It is controller to controllee. It is not much different than a relationship between a farmer and an ox, a rancher and a horse, or a machinist with a press. You are a tool to the narcissist. If you give the narcissist the control they desire, they will be more than happy to maintain a relationship with you. If you do not give the narcissist in your life the control they desire, expect to be the target of their rage, or, if you're lucky, abandonment. And I do say if you're lucky. I say lucky because most narcissists seek to destroy the ones they cannot control. I personally discovered that most narcissists are more than happy to maintain a phony relationship if you will only provide a single pearl or two of your own soul, flesh, or finances that they can trample on. I've known quite a few narcissists. Like the swine Jesus warned us about in Luke chapter 7, which says, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under your feet and turn again and rent you." Rent means it's a really bad thing. Again, that was Luke chapter 7, verse 6. Even if you decide to hand little parts of yourself to the narcissist in your life, even a pearl at a time, you will still eventually find the core of your soul trampled underfoot by the narcissist. Like the swine they are, the pigsty they are, the dumpster and the dumpster juice that they represent. But in the meantime, you can at least pretend you are enjoying a relationship with her, right? Or him. Let me make this point clear to you. If the narcissist in your life can't control you, you mean nothing to them. They do not love you, and they do not care for you. When I say you, I mean the real you. The things about your personality, the spirit that defines the true you, the things that make you who you are and what you are. The narcissist could care less for such things, for those things. Care for you does not exist in the heart of a narcissist. Narcissistic love is based on the level for which they can derive use from you. Like the farmer loves his ox, the rancher loves his horse, or someone may love his or her new car. Most of the time, that use is a sensation of empowerment that the narcissist experiences when they believe they have exercised some power of your person over your person, be it your perceptions, your emotions, your thoughts, or your behaviors. Sometimes that use is the enhancement of the narcissist's own image for the benefit for those they are trying to impress, like an internet radio audience. Much like a prop in a stage production, sometimes the usefulness that they derive from you can be a simple kissing of the butt or conning you out of your entire life savings. Either way, any relationship with a narcissist will always be built on their ability to control and exploit some, if not all, aspects of your life. Their so-called love for you extends to what use you are to them. Please remember. Look to 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 3. And through covetousness shall they, with feigned words, make merchandise of you. End quote. Make merchandise of you. Words, false messengers, which the narcissist uses. They cannot control and exploit you. You mean nothing with them. Here's a warning. Don't make the mistake of falling for the relationship card when you decide to cut ties with the narcissist in your life. If and when you muster the strength to sever ties with the narcissist, expect a full-fledged attack on your character or integrity. They may say you're a liar. Let me repeat. Expect a full-fledged attack on your morality, your character, and your integrity when you sever ties with the narcissist. Much of this will be centered on your unwillingness to enjoin yourself, to collect yourself with the narcissist, to come back home to the narcissist. You'll be the one accused of a callous refusal of maintaining relations with someone so loving and kind as the narcissist in your life. All the feigned and fake acts of kindness will be heaped upon you by the narcissist and will be thrown back in your face by the narcissist as examples of your selfishness and your pettiness, as well as the narcissist's mercy and tenderheartedness. Don't think for one moment that the relationship card tactic will not be used on everyone, not just you in your circle of family and friends, if they can reach your family. They are going to hear about your bitter and unforgiving heart. And he did this or she did that. While the narcissist only wanted a relationship with you. I just don't understand. They did want a relationship with you. A one-way playing field on their playing field alone. The narcissist playing field, that is. What does this mean? What does this mean? A callous refusal of maintaining relations. Can they handle it? Maybe they cannot. When you have a one-way playing field, it does not do well to be able to go the other direction, which is your critical way of thinking, the true you, the creative you. Now in 1 Peter, I know I'm quoting a lot from the Bible, chapter 4, verse 4, Amplified Version, it says this: They are astonished and think it very queer that you do not run hand in hand with them in the same excesses of disposition, and they abuse you. End quote. If you are a free spirit, if you believe that God created you, or the power above created you to be an individual personality with unique purposes in your life, if you are someone who has the capacity to think for yourself. If you are any of these things, you need to stop wondering why the narcissist targeted you for shame, humiliation, and possibly even destruction. For it seems that these attacks come out of the blue, but they are planned. If you are fortunate, stop wondering why the narcissist discarded you like yesterday's rubbish. Be glad for being abandoned. Face up to the truth, painful as it is, that the narcissist has no use for those she cannot control and exploit. Well, that's my piece on narcissism. And again, my position for Mr. Midnight Movie and Jewish producers is just to help them. It's not to hurt anybody else. But should you come under attack for even listening to them on a platform that I happen to have on BTR, remember this. If she cannot control you or exploit you, she will attack you. If we stay united as a front of love and kindness, we can withstand the attacks of the enemy, of the disgraced, of the cruel ambitions of a worn out person. I challenge you. Maybe we should pray for this person, meditate. Someone made a clip of giving for the elderly mental cases. But maybe doing something good with this is the best choice. I believe choosing life is the best choice. So how do we choose life? How do we do this? We work together, we support one another, we do not tear each other down. That is how we win. We must win. We cannot leave and let this axis of evil try to dominate. If the person does not have an audience or a pool to call upon to do her evil bidding, then nothing will come of this person, and we can just pray for this person. I'm not cruel. This person has harmed me greatly, and my children. But let's move on, shall we? Life is too short. I love all you guys. I care about you. Do not give in to tyranny. Do not go quietly into that last good night. Speak up, be heard, take action, but with love. I thank you for listening. And you have a great night, and I'll see you over at BTR. All right. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.